After 7 weather is presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Hey, how's it going, Ohio Valley meteorologist Tyler Vangie here. Let's figure out when we can see some rainfall. All this sunshine is nice, but the grass is starting to get a little bit dry. And with that being said, if you plan on having a bonfire for this weekend, just keep that in mind. Keep that hose nearby. You might need it. Might catch that grass on fire. Satellite and radar does have our high pressure still parked in place, and that continues to push out all the cloud coverage that we do see. And our winds, they're continuing to blow from the east, and that's a little bit different here for the Ohio Valley. We don't see that, and that's all thanks to the mountains. So we're starting to see that easterly flow, all thanks to high pressure, but it's not necessarily the best thing for us. We actually need some rainfall like we just talked about. So when's the next time we could see some rainfall? Well, our upper air pattern does have the answers to that. That high pressure does have a clockwise rotation in the upper levels, but check out what happens as we head closer to your Saturday. We will have some northerly winds, so finally a change in the winds, and that could bring some of that moisture from the lakes down across the Ohio Valley. But overall, we're not even really talking about measurable precipitation, just a chance to see some of that convection. And what that is those fair weather cumulus starting to build back up, and then that thunderstorm later in the afternoon, evening, right around max heating. That's like your 2-3 p.m. pushing into 4 p.m. But this is basically the setup here. Your drought monitor does showcase Tyler and Wetzel County are stuck in just the absolute driest conditions. And the same can be said here just to the east side of the Appalachian Mountains, but we're switching things up. Now our winds are actually going to be from the opposite direction. So as those winds do transport that moisture from the north, we could see them laying in those pockets of the wet lowlands over into southern and central Ohio. And the same thing can be said about the windward side of the mountains, just seeing that cloud coverage bunch up, carrying that moisture from the lakes, and then just dumping it here on the west side of the mountains. But for the rest of us, we're not going to see a whole lot of action. We're going to try and dry with that high pressure moving forward. Today, 82 degrees, that's where we maxed out. We break our average, a little bit hot for us today. You might have been shedding some clothes throughout the day or looking for a pool, or just go head on over and jump in the creek. Not too bad. 96, definitely not hitting that, but closer to the end of this work week, it does seem possible. 53 degrees, that's where we wake up for our morning. Not a bad morning. And I do want to just send out that friendly reminder to those with the furry friends. Keep an eye on those temperatures. It's getting hot out there, upper 80s, 90s as we head through this weekend. That temperature on the concrete just a little bit higher, and the same can be said about that asphalt. Put your hand down, 7-second rule. If it's too hot for you, well, it's definitely too hot for them. Here's how Predictor plays everything out. Nothing really to talk about for your Thursday. Same setup as our day today. We continue those easterly winds, a little bit of cloud coverage over into the western side of Ohio. We will notice those winds shifting, though, as we head through your Friday, and that's the key factor to switching things up. We're going to filter in some moisture, thankfully, due to those lakes, and we could see those temperatures, but we're going to have to wait and see if those temperatures actually reach that convective temp to see that build up and actually see that rainfall. So we'll have to stand by and wait on our Saturday to see if we can see some rainfall. But despite that, heading through the rest of your weekend, not too bad. Sun shines across the board. We cool off as we head through your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, filtering in cooler air, but really no big change.